Well, I sure do hope this is working. My settings are all wrong. That's me. Hello. And that's chat. Where's chat? Hello, chat. Chat, are you there? I can't see chat. I forgot to set it up. That's the wrong thing. No. Shoot. Where am I? Hey, Jazz. Wrap up. Rate ideas for dungeon puzzles and traps. Gnarly Coyote says, whoosh. Hi. Hi, Jazz. Hi, Chris. I am trying to make everything appear to work because I didn't have time to set it up after all. I should have left the meeting 2 minutes earlier. And I'm being asked to be in another meeting right now related to the project that I'm working on in today's stream. Delightful. So, instead of going to that meeting, I will make whoosh sounds. And let me show you some of the stuff I'm working on, because hopefully it works. Normal Reaper scene. Here is my project that I'm in right now. And I'm making some game audio assets right now for a project I'm working on for a game jam this week. And there's some stuff that I need to do. I need to make some enemy noises, some object noises, some ambiance. I have so far made some stuff that's related to. Okay, that seems to work. My audio cut out for a second and it scared me. It's sort of like a weird, like, void bomb attack. And then this one's another similar type of a thing. Essentially, that would be sort of a spell attack that one of the characters has. And then this is more of like a thing that would loop around and cross the screen as this energy bomb passes through. And if I have time this week, it's going to get implemented as a sort of like a 3D audio asset where it's going to, you're going to hear it as though it's coming from the object. I am not sure how much time we're going to have, but we'll see. Chris, Jazz, John. John, what a terrible studio. No keytar at all. And I'm using the whales, yeah. I stretched out one of the whales even further and combined it with some other delightful things. And let's see here. Hope you're well. Request sound design, some beautiful sci-fi traditional sounds, a few ARPs that slow down, a few reverse pads, something things. I will not get to those today because I'm actually making assets for an actual project tonight. This isn't going to be, this is not a drill. This one's not concepts. It's assets that need to be implemented by Friday. So I'm trying to work on the programming and the implementation stuff on my free time. And this, I'm considering the stream to not be my free time. So I'm double dipping and making some of the assets in here. So I need to make, let me see if I've got a list yet. There's some like weird slime enemies. There's a couple of things that could sound like a sci-fi thing. Maybe we could do like a reverse pad sounding thing. Might work for one of the areas. There's some like magic spells and stuff. It's a bit more fantasy themed than sci-fi, but looks like there are some slimy enemies and some human enemies. And I haven't received a complete list. Okay. Cool. That means I get to have fun and do whatever I want. Nice. Okay. We are going to make ambiance for a forest area, I think, and ambiance for a it looks like there's sort of a snowy area and maybe like an indoor tower kind of an area. A lot of the games actually got some nice dungeon synth vibes, which is cool. And Gnarly Coyote, I can talk about it as much as I want. Yeah. It's for a game jam, so it's a really, really short game. It is basically just a side scroller, and the Game Jams theme is related to difficulty level. And the idea is that it's going to essentially play with metagaming concepts where like you see something happen in a game and you're like, oh, there's a slime coming at me shooting fireballs. That's probably a bad thing. And it's basically just going to play with expectations. It's a very simple concept, and probably not going to be very good. Most Game Jam games aren't, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe we'll make something out of it. I'm going to make sure I go hard with the soundtrack and make sure the music for it's cool. And I'll just make that available so we can all listen to the music, even if the game sucks. Slow down some rubbish MIDI brass sounds, fantasy ambiance. Oh, Colin showing up with a blocked comment right there. I'm going to allow that to come through because porn jazz is basically a genre. We are not making porn jazz. But yeah, let's do some... I'm not going to use rubbish MIDI brass sounds. I'll use like serious brass sounds, but corny ones, corny brass. Oh, wow. I don't have a light on this right now. Use my phone. Okay, getting to a starting point. Oh, you know what? I think we've actually got some, maybe we can actually look at this. Yeah, look at that. You've even got my new house plant in frame. I don't know if Jazz is still in the chat. Jazz, I got a house plant. I didn't actually get it for myself. It was a gift, and I'm doing my best to keep it alive long enough for the gift giver to forget that it was given to me. That's probably a good starting point, actually. Let's use that. So what do we got here? Where's Eidolon? Get Eidolon in here and I'll make some porn jazz instead of whatever it is that I'm doing. Actually, I'm not serious. I do need to get this done. I'm on a pretty strict deadline for it. So... Gosh, I'll try to get that porn jazz project done. Mad Professor gets to work fiddling with machines. I actually think I need to restart that one. It's not behaving properly, or it's too dark for me to see what's going on the front panel. And the vibe of the live stream is more important than the actual sound quality, right? Let's make some big brass chords and slow them the hell down. The game's kind of in D minor. And there's an ant on my Mellotron. That's a huge problem. And that's gross. Anyway, I'm going to make a couple of chords, power chords, that are in the key that I'm working with. I think that it's important to make the sound design in the key of the music that exists on the levels. I like the Mario philosophy. In the old Mario games, the music was all in the same key, and the good sound effects were in the same key as the music, and the bad sound effects were in like other keys. So, you know, if you've got like this sound in the soundtrack, you have like good sound effect, and then bad sound effect would be like something like that, where it's dissonant. Too late, already sent the message. Fantastic, I love it. Okay, so we've got ourselves some stuff. I'll get that out from underneath my face. You know, maybe I could even bring my face down here. Nope, that's the wrong scene. Here's my face. I'll put my face over here for now. That'll make everything much easier to see. Oh no. Eidolon's here for porn jazz. I'm having to, I need to make someone else a, what do you call it? A moderator, because every single comment that says the word porn in it, I have to approve. Okay, before I try making porn jazz, which I probably won't do tonight, so leave the chat if you are looking for that, because I don't have time to do that right now. I'm on a deadline. And here we are. Some separated brass sounds. Not really brass, sort of pseudo brass. And we are going to pull this over here to a new track. And take Lamentic Villains' advice, prawn jazz. Yeah, we can call it the old school internet way of spelling it. You've been lied to and deceived. Okay, let's just hear what this sounds like stretched out really far. Oh, those artifacts are kind of pretty, actually. I'm actually impressed by the fidelity of the sound after it's been slowed down this much. Less digital artifacts than I expected. That's more like it. Wow. The slowing down algorithm is fantastic. Prawn jazz. You know what? Just to make everyone happy, let's make some, let's drag a drum loop in here. Jazz drum loop. Do we have any jazz drum loops? Oh, I haven't made a video on this yet, but I want to show this off because if anyone in here is a music producer, makes dungeon synth, other kinds of music, I want to demonstrate. I made a contact instrument that I really like, and maybe I'll use it for something. I guess I need to. Oh, not solo the track. That's why it's not working. But yeah, this is on my website actually already. I haven't talked about it much yet, but it's gonna be better if I turn my voiceover mic off. Really, really carefully sampled toy piano. I spent a long time on that, and I think it sounds almost exactly like a real toy piano. I'm very proud of it. My best attempt yet. However, this is not prawn jazz until I add 70s drummer. Maybe there's some jazz grooves in here. I'm not going to make a jazz groove. If there's some stuff in here that's labeled jazz on one of these, I'm going to call that good enough. 50s drummer's gonna have jazz, right? Hopefully. Grooves, jazz. Let's just call it any of these. And hope that it's cool. I also don't have a wah-wah pedal, so we really aren't going to get any jazz. Porno jazz is just wah-wah pedal. Okay. Here we go. I actually can't play jazz at all. That's not a very good drum beat. Okay. You got your knights confused. Dungeon Synthers in here. I wonder. Okay, can't remember which version of Contact you have. I don't Lamentic Villains. I've watched some videos on creating user interfaces for Contact, and there's not a lot of good information on it. I found some, and it looks like it's very doable, but it also seems like the user interface isn't really accessible to people that don't have the full version or something. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but it doesn't. I guess what I'm getting at is it doesn't seem worth it unless I get like whatever the license is to be like a full-on Contact developer to actually make stuff with a UI, unless I'm just doing it for myself. But if I'm wrong about that and somebody knows, then that would be great. Oh my God, Eidolon is like going hard with the chat. I'm deciding whether I want to show this one or hide it. It's a comment that was flagged and actually deserved to be flagged. I'm going to allow it. As long as we keep the X-rated comments to a minimum, because I think it's really funny. I can't believe you wrote that, Eidolon. I love it. Anyway, so I actually want to record that. I think it's correcting itself and it's finding the wave shape and trying to develop it into something that's the correct pitch. And I don't want it to. So what I'm going to do here is a really classic sound design trick, setting your input to recording the output. There's different ways of doing this in each DAW. In Reaper, it's record output. I guess I could do mono because I'm just mono. I'm going to record output mono. And I'm bypassing the master here. That's this little checkbox here. I have it shortcut as Alt-click. I don't think. Well, actually, I think that might be standard. Alt-click or Option-click, and then you just route from this track to that one, and record on this track. So. Cool. Okay. And then we listen to see if that actually grabbed it properly. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to record another little chunk here. Okay. Another little chunk here. Okay. And now, oops. Okay. Now the combination of these three chunks should hopefully create that little texture that I'm looking for. And we'll see if it does. Turn the recording arm off and take that routing off of here. I'm just going to mute it. And now we've got ourselves a start to some sound design. Put little fades on it. And see what it sounds like as a little loop. Solid. It's kind of cool. I could do something with that. Let's see here. iTunes, that Dungeon Guide, lol. Lamentic Villain says, fair enough. If you ever want graphics for one, give me a shout. I'd be more than happy to design the elements. No idea how to program, though. I assume that you're talking about John Holmes nutting on a lobster, that you can make graphics for that. So we will definitely be hitting up Lamentic Villains to draw that. John Holmes, Jesus Christ. What is going on? Oh man, the first fan art for my streams. And of course it's not for anything I did, it's for something that my chat did. Thank you for Eidolon and Lamentic Villains for making this very fun. So I am going to glue this together and I'm going to stretch it out again, just a little bit. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Let's throw on some effects. I'm thinking this one would be really cool with some kind of a wild bouncing around kind of an effect. Let's try this one. This is really, really strongly recommended free plugin developer. I made like I've been trying to make YouTube shorts, which are like just TikToks on YouTube basically. And one of the things I've been trying to do is recommend free VSTs. This is one of the plugin developers. Really, really good stuff. Just basically a Bucket Brigade delay chip sim. And let's go ahead and add some more feedback. And if I modulate this time variable, we're going to pitch bend the feedback. So I think we want to do that. Let's see here. So show last touch, parameter modulation. And now we can see the time variable moving. I'm actually going to get rid of this so it's out of the way because we're only focusing on this. And it's too extreme right now, so turning the strength down and the speed down to make it really disorienting. It's kind of cool. Nice, I like it. And now what we're gonna do is to I made a little shortcut for this. This button here just applies track and take effects to new item, multi-channel output. Fantastic. Let's just hear what that sounds like now without the effects. Cool. That's what I want. Crop to the take and ditch the plugins. And now we have this print of like a beautiful sound that's just like what's going on, kind of a wild sound. Oh, what's going on in chat here? Okay, we should ask Sylvana how much it would cost for her to draw Francis, but as a lobster. Even won Olympic gold in sex. I'll draw you, John Holmes, as the Little Mermaid, except his bottom half doesn't turn into a fish. It's more like sort of a large snake. Crowdfunded hardcore prawns. My birthday is October 30th. So having me as a costume it makes sense. It'll work. And yeah, we'll do a photo shoot if that appears in my mail. I'm gonna need to get a PO box, aren't I? My channel is almost at 1,000 subs. That means that once it hits 1,000 subs, we're doing that live stream. Me and my friend Orion are going to do just a mega synth show on live stream. And that's probably going to be like this month or next month if people keep showing up to watch the videos. But yeah, if a lobster costume covered in questionable fluids showed up at my door, I might wear it for the live stream. You never know. Just, DM me. This sounds like some demented thing. I'm not sure how useful it'll be, but I don't want to focus too much on that sound anymore. So we're just going to leave it alone. And start digging through the, let's call this like crustacean. I'll just say it. We're all thinking it. Let's go into the Media Explorer and dig through some sound effects library. I've never opened this one before. I'm probably not supposed to use the Warner Bros. Sounds. These aren't very useful to me right now. I'll have to spend more time with them. Hammers, helicopters. This is like D&D alternatives. Hammers and helicopters. Trains and tracks. Bumpers and bridges. Pigeons and parks. Delis and dining rooms. Parades, prostitutes, bums, and bells. What? What is this one? I haven't opened most of these libraries, and I'm sure many of them don't even seem to have anything in them. I'll need to explore that and figure out why they don't work. Weapons, impacts. This is gonna be useful. I actually need an explosion, or like a fireball hitting. Reporting my DAW for inappropriate content. Okay. Okay, what do we have here? Lobster costume smells like salt and battery acid. Sounds very medieval. Going to be a synth off, fighting with sound. It's going to be like a... we're probably going to set up like a rehearsed show. We've played before. Orion's the... if anyone is in here watching and saw me on the Mortis tour, when the San Diego Mortis show... like I was billed, Francis Roberts was billed, but it was a duo that performed, and Orion was the other part of that duo. But anyway, think of him as like the rhythm section for my like live dungeon synth stuff in the context of what we're probably going to be doing. He's really good at sequencers and drum machines and things like that, and we'll probably make something that's like a vibey like 30 to 60 minute dungeon synth type set with some Berlin School elements and some more percussive elements. And we're going to make sure it's really cool. We will make sure it's very, very cool. So also very useful for you. Record 2 minutes of pure synth foolery randomly, then tremolo it. Well, you'll be pleased to know that I did that today and forgot to download the asset because I did it on a different computer. So we're going to bring that into this session. Thank you for reminding me. It's this one here. Download. Hey, stop all the downloading. And we are going to show in folder. My downloads, top secret information. There's actually a lot of stuff in there that would be a big deal if I was famous, but I'm not famous, so that's good. So let's put it into here, and here I'm just doing my file management, being a good kid, and here, and now I can bring it in. So I made some assets here where I was just essentially messing with synthesizers, exactly what you're describing. And then let's see what happens with this. It looks really loud. Maybe we'll turn it down a little bit. Let's go here. Oh, forgot my fader bank is on. Cool. I don't know what this is going to sound like. This is why I don't have modular synthesizers anymore. It's like, if you put me in front of modular synthesizers, I just do this instead of other stuff, and I think it sounds cool. That's why I did it. But you do this at a concert, and everybody leaves. Unless you're the headliner and they're expecting that. But anyway, Lamentic Villains recommended 2 minutes of pure synth foolery. This is like 3.5 minutes of pure synth foolery. And tremoloing it. So let's do that. See what happens. I'm just gonna chop out a chunk of it. There's other parts too, so I promise that it's actually pure synth foolery. Put some tremolo on it. We do like FM with the tremolo. That hurts my head. Oh yeah, I haven't tried time searching this one. Good call. This is like if you drop acid and then open a like 1994 internet router, whatever you call it, dial-up modem. I've never actually tried acid, so I don't know if that's true, but this is what I imagine it would be like. Oh, you're right. It sounds like there's like you're about to go in a boss room. Okay, so we're freezing this with that effect. It's been settled. My mic cuts when that happens, I think, right? That's why I stopped talking. If you could still hear me just breathing heavily into the microphone, then let me know, and I will continue talking through the renders, but I assume that my mic cuts out for the renders. We don't need the trem anymore. And this would actually, I think you're right, be really cool, is sort of a walking into a boss room. There will be hopefully a boss in time for Friday when we drop this little miniature game. But if not, then yeah, fuck it. We're still going to put boss music in, right? The boss fight is just, you have to listen to this song, and that's it. That's the whole boss fight. Listen to the boss music, and the boss just like leaves you alone. Oh, cool. There's some networking happening in the chat. I think that this should probably be filtered, though. We're doing this in Unreal Engine, and I'd probably filter it in Unreal instead of out here. Did you all know that Unreal has a modular synthesizer in it? Like, what? I'm never using Reaper again. No, I'm not. It's Unreal is like a lot worse than Reaper overall, but it can do it can do a lot of things that Reaper doesn't do. So it's definitely not supposed to mainly be a sound program, but it works pretty good for one. Cool. Just had the players meet virtual Bruce Springsteen. The first video game I ever made when I was in high school, like in like 2005 or something like that. You like were a fish, and you had to go around and you could eat the smaller fishes, and the like final boss fishes were the computer science teacher was one of them, and Michael Bolton was the other one. I was really proud of that. I wish I had that game still. I like thought of it as a school assignment, and I think I had just like left it on the school computer. That would be a fun like relic to have. Michael Bolton fish. Cool. Let's throw some filtering on the bottom. It's more unsettling with that low end, but less messy without it. Yeah. Filtering is nice to know what it sounds like, but it's going to go in as an asset without the filtering. And that way the filtering can be controlled maybe like by the player's distance from the object to make the sound. Maybe there's like a magic orb or something that that emits this sound, or like a the boss's favorite rock, like a little rock on the ground. What are you saying, Colin? Apparently Dizzy Rascal produced the beats on Boy in the Corner in his computer class. That's kind of cool. I like the idea of that. I also like the idea of producing beats in like a, what do you call it? Like an Apple store, going on like the iPads and doing your beats there. It's delightful. Anyway, I'm gonna make a couple more, I need to make a couple of like enemy hit sounds. And it looked like last time I was in the Discord chat, it looked like there's some slimes. So I'm gonna see if I can find some like gross sounding stuff in here. Maybe like messy. Nope, mess. Goo. No. What would be a keyword for a messy, gross sounding thing? Rascal, let's see. I don't even know. What's, Lamentic Villains, you have to tell me what was inappropriate about your comment. I'm reading it and I don't understand why it was flagged. I'm going to show it. Rascal, he's just a rascal, a C in computer class rascal. I have no idea what that means. If that's inappropriate, sorry for allowing it into the chat, but I honestly have no idea what that means. So somebody tell me, please. Gore. Let's look up gore. Oh, come on. Am I like in the wrong folder here? Zombie. Okay, here we go. Zombie hurt. These are good. Good starting point. What? What is this? There's some music cues in here too? Wow. I love these. You know what? What if the slimes just have like a Moog squelch? And oh, okay, yeah. You're probably Lamented Villains, you're probably right. You probably thought you were bullying. There's so much stuff that's being flagged. Who wants to be my mod? I think Colin talked about it. Maybe I'll make you actually a mod if you want. Not right now, but next time. Okay, we're gonna try making a little squelch, a little filter squelch. That's disgusting. This doesn't sound like a slime though. Too sci-fi. That's kind of cool. Is that good? Something like that for a hit on a weird, creepy monster. Maybe that's part of the sound. I'll layer a few things. Let's make sure we're not armed on any other tracks and record a couple of those, a couple of different notes. Okay. Maybe that combined with a meat sound. We're gonna use this one. good combination of sounds. Zoom in on these, see what we can do here. I'm going to check on chat. He's a, oh God. Realized that was a drawn fetish. I thought people were actually eating each other somewhere. Gosh. Banned Facebook joking about all space Canadians are proven to be evil. You mentioned when you kept showing up. Okay, cool. Lamentic. Oh, cool. You all have interacted relating to that's always kind of funny. That's how people react when I tell them that I not just met but like legitimately like hung out with that's the wrong damn thing. I'm moving my face again. The drummer from Yes. Like I actually like meaningfully spent time with him. And like prog rock fans are like, what? They're actually like, which drummer? Because they've had multiple drummers, but. Okay. Mixing time. Let's just loop this and blend them together. I don't have a camera on my mixing desk, but I'm just using faders here. That's why I'm doing it without the mouse moving. I'm going to move the mouse at the same time. Magic trick. They're not quite lined up proper. Okay, that's cool. Slice, delete, move. Let's just mute those for now. And do a little bit of envelope shaping here. Zoom in on these and see how big they are. This is going to go over here. These are actually going to start at the same time. Oh no, whoops, I did not mean to do that. Come back to me. Putting that there. Little fade at the beginning. And this one here wants to be a little bit more hollow to my ear. Let's just see what yeah, there's a ton of mid-range in it. Yeah, okay. And then this has too much low end. It's like really too beefy. Cool. And this is going to get, oh, check out this new macro I made. Cycle through fade out shapes. I think this might be useful. I'm not sure. Cool. This feels like, it's starting to feel like an enemy hit sound. What do you all think? Sounds good. Let's see. Have I hung out with Wakeman? No. Never hung out with Wakeman. I heard he's an asshole. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I shouldn't say that kind of stuff. But I have heard that from places that seem credible, which is disappointing because, you know, legendary musician, of course. Anyway, boy, better know. Okay. Still talking about Jamie. Okay. Anyway. It's not just like proggy synth players. It's like proggy synth players who are like white dudes that are old. Okay, I really like this. I think this might be a good starting point, and maybe I'll make a few assets like this. Let's see if I can find another one over here. Okay. That one's pretty good. This one's not going to be useful at all. I'll try to make these all the same length of asset as well. I kind of like that type of consistency for some reason. I'm not really sure actually why. But anyway, you heard it here first. Picking kind of a loud point for the beginning of it. Doing some general envelope shaping. And this one's going to be doing the same deal. Just bounce through some of these. That's cool. Let's compare it. Okay. I like both of those. I think that maybe, 3 or 4 of those, probably fine. Another thing that happens is essentially in a game, you'll write code to like randomize like the pitch of playback, maybe like randomize the filter setting between 2 elements so that they end up sounding different each time without using too many assets. If you're doing like a super high budget game, like if you ever wonder why a game like Red Dead Redemption or something like that takes like an hour to load, it's because they're like actually probably using a lot of different realistic assets and like stitching them all together. And you know, if each footstep is a different recording instead of like a pitch shifted version of the same sound, it's going to sound more realistic and less like a video game. But video games sound cool too. Oh yeah. I can't wait for you to be an old proggy synth player too, John. And Lamentic Villain says you'll need a wizard's beard. That's a good idea in most situations. Okay. That's a good one. Let's do another one of these. I think I might make 4 of these assets. Let's do this actually for consistency's sake. Cool. Okay. Okay, this bad boy's gonna go here. Same general formula. And both of these can have a little fade in. This one could be a little bit louder, I think. Yeah, those are actually all pretty cool. I kind of want it to sound less like an animal, though. Let's see if we can find the frequency range that that little growl part is in. It's like the whole thing. It's the whole sound, huh? Oh, well, we're just going to tolerate it. And make one more. Out of wolf sounds. Forget it. Just delete these. What we want to do here is, I'll show you what's happening here in my action list. Regions. So insert separate regions for each selected item is the action I'm going to be using. I have that key to Alt-Shift-C. I have no idea if that's normal, but essentially, oh, you know what? I just need the regions from this because I want the stack of them. And let's call these hit 1, hit 2, and hit 3. And the reason I'm doing that is because if I render, I can render from my region render matrix, and I can be like, oh, you know what? Again, region render matrix is, I don't think this is default either. Control Shift R is what I've got here. And what that does is it shows this window, and I've got 3 regions, and I can render them from the project mix or as separate assets down here. So in this case, it's just going to let me render 3 files as a queue, which is really great. It saves you a lot of time. When I make my contact libraries, I'll do that with 100 files. Anyway, I'm not going to be doing a render on stream. So that's just how I set it up. I just wanted to show you that. So what do we got here? Why do I feel like we're assembling Shane? As an old proggy synth wizard. How old is Shane? I think of him as being older than me, but not as being an old wizard guy. I don't. Maybe I'm pretty old, so I think someone younger than me would see him as old. I'm medium aged. Maybe he's medium +1, which is a good thing in wizard terms. +1. Limited villains. It's 5 a.m. Jesus. Thanks for calling me a prawn star. And I will wish myself good luck too. Thank you for the luck. We'll play it. I'll do a let's play stream. I've got gray hair too. It's just green right now. I don't have as much gray hair as he does, but I've got some. Most of my gray hair is on my chin and right around here. I like it actually. I'm disappointed that I got rid of it. Cool. Those are just in the middle of nowhere. Fantastic. So hit sound. Forest ambiance. Let me see if there's any stuff in here that's good for forest ambiance. Maybe just a forest. Oh, these are IRs. Holy shit. I didn't know this library had IRs in it. This is amazing. I'm so happy right now. I was going to scour the internet looking for forest and hilly region IRs, and here they are. Oh my god. Okay. That means let's hear what these hit sounds feel like with a forest or hilly region IR. That's some East London ambiance. Delightful. Excuse my motor faders. Can I do this? Nope. I have to find it. Add. Maybe I can do it here. Nope. Okay. Show media source properties. Show an Explorer Finder. Nope. Okay, gosh, I have to dig it up. Okay, add file. Cab IRs, samples, sample SFX libraries. This is in sound effects from Reese. Is it in Boom IRs? Where is it? Boom libraries. Oh, where's the file path? Where am I? Jeez. Boom libraries. IR outdoors. There it is. Okay. Oh my god, this is so good. I didn't know I had this. I've been looking for a good library of these, and I didn't realize it was already in this library that I already had. Field, forest. Okay. Where's forest? Forest, light, small hill. cool. Huh. Okay, let's see if this sounds cool. Yeah. Oh, delightful. Oh, I love it. Fan-fucking-tastic. I'm so happy that that exists in there. What do we got here? Ava, hi. Welcome. And Colin, what are you saying, Colin? I will one day make a shirt that says Curious George goes to East London with a Curious George masked with a knife. Just to find that font somewhere. Colin, IRs are. This is actually a delightful thing. It stands for impulse response, and it is a recording of a space. This is what you use in a lot of modern video games, video game sound design, stuff like that. Basically, like you can load these into something like Unreal Engine or Unity Engine or a proprietary engine, and it's a recording of a like a control sound in a space. And I think that what happens, I don't have a full understanding of it, is that the control sound is sort of like removed, and the recording is essentially of what the reverb of that sound is. So if you played a sound in my bedroom or in your like school cafeteria, or in this case in a forest light small hill from 15 meters, so 15 meters away from the microphone basically, what does that sound like? And in this case it sounds like that instead of this. So this is just the dry sound that exists inside of the box, inside of a computer, and then with the reverb impulse response, it's like, whoa, this is like I'm in a weird canyon or something like that. I have the reverb cranked up. I would probably do it more like this, where it creates a small sense of space without being super extreme. If you take the original sound out, it's kind of fucking horrible. But c'est la vie. This is so cool. Thanks for watching. This is my pandemic hobby. I started doing this and I had so much fun doing it that I kept going. Colin, isn't the reverb highly influenced by the dry sound though? Yeah. And the idea here is that you're essentially recording the effect of the space, and then you're running the dry sound through the effect of that space. And as a result, you end up getting a pretty convincing impression of what that sound would sound like if it had been, if the sound that you recorded the IR with was replaced with the sound. So in this case, my hit sound is, we're imagining that is in place of the placeholder sound, 15 meters away from the microphone in the forest. And what we end up with is a pretty convincing recreation of it. And that's how a lot of reverb plugins, like that's how a convolution reverb works. So I think you use Convology. I think I might have recommended that to you. It's a nice free convolution reverb. The Reaper reverb is also a convolution reverb, but it doesn't come with any IRs really. So, well, it comes with 2, but you can load other ones in. IRs are also how we essentially recreate like a guitar sound. A lot of like heavy metal recordings, for example, are made plugging the guitar straight into the computer, and you dial in the amp sound in the computer, and that would be done with an IR for, like, believe it or not, the speaker itself. So you can put a microphone in front of a speaker and play the sound through a guitar cab, and the way that guitar speaker colors the sound lets you essentially run through a simulation of that guitar cab. And I have a bunch of speaker IRs and room IRs for guitar, and you can plug a guitar straight into a distortion pedal into a computer, and it sounds like you're running through like a 4x12 Marshall cabinet in a nice studio, and it's just really fantastic. And Cool Dark Place is your shit. That's let me just, I think that's in here. Yeah, Cool Dark Place. Let's do that one. So this file right here, Cool Dark Place. I don't know where this is on my computer, but you could load Cool Dark Place into Reverb if you wanted to, and you just wouldn't have the same controls here. And in here you have options to include modules. So in this case, I could add like a filter and do stuff with the filter. But in Convology, you have essentially other types of variables. Let's hear Cool Dark Place. I actually should find where these are because, like I said, in Unreal Engine, you can just bring in these IRs and say like this sound effect is going to be in this room. And the other thing is, if you're in a video game and you're like your character's running into a hallway from outside, when your footsteps change, usually what's going on is they've loaded an IR and essentially created a map for the IR inside of that room. So like in that hallway, they've mapped it out and said, this place sounds like a hallway with marble floors. And it's just so cool. And that's like on its most basic level. When I get better at it, maybe I'll do a stream on that. But in this case, I'd just be embarrassing myself. I'm still at the phase of making video games where I'll make assets and have fun making them in Reaper, and then render them all out and go try to implement them and spend like 10 hours just pulling my hair out watching YouTube tutorials and stuff like that. A lot of logic goes into it, programming. And a lot of the modern programming is like stuff that's over my head, like really complicated math equations. So you like copy paste the method that's a math equation you don't understand and hope that it does what you want it to do. And a lot of times you're not even writing code, you're creating like a flow chart, and it's just, I like code more than flowcharts, but neither one's very useful when you don't understand what's actually happening. Okay, hit sounds. I've got little weird fireball sounds, little weird hit sounds. I need forest ambiance still. Now that I've got that, we can find other stuff that happens in a forest. We're going to use a flamethrower for something too. I got carried away. Flamethrower long. I'll mute that track for now and come back to it. So we need a loop for a forest area. Let's go back to normal. Boom libraries. Okay, in here is where I want to be searching. Forest. Subaru Forester drive-by. Amazing. Impulse responses, everyday cars. These are all impulse responses in cars. The natural world. I didn't need to do that. Shoot. Hey, that's cool. You outsource your low level coding to another company. Yeah. I think coding is so fun, but I'm not very good at it, all things considered. Definitely not like a specialty of mine, but then I talk to people that like code for a living and they're like, oh yeah, I just copy paste stuff from GitHub. It's like, okay, well, if that's what we're all doing on a professional level, nice. I guess I'm like, I work at a school, and a lot of teachers just essentially copy paste their lesson plans. And I mean, who's going to blame us for it? Like, it's not like we get paid enough to write our own lesson plans most of the time. That's a totally different conversation, though. Ooh, I hate those insects. These are like a little bit too intense. Okay. That'll work. A little bit too... A lot of those are too busy, and I don't want them to be like in the foreground of what's happening. I think that if once implemented, something like this ends up being like looped and filtered, and probably has a, you know, it would eventually have the same reverb going through it. That same like forest area. Excuse me. And some type of filter. I like leaving a lot of space in the low end for music, and leaving some space in the high end for other stuff. Sometimes you want that high end. I don't know. I'm just thinking about like making space for sound effects and making this feel like background noise. And I'm pulling out, this stuff sounds loud because it's where human voices really like to live. This stuff is really boomy. And this stuff is distracting, crispy, cymbal stuff. So let's hear that. That compared to this. Need to blend that more so I can hear the difference without hearing the volume change. Make it sort of live in the background. I also kind of like the idea of like making it really wide in stereo. This is kind of a weird thing to do. Make it sound like a messed up, weird forest. I kind of want it to sound unsettling. No, it's too much. Anyway, again, this type of processing would happen in Unreal rather than in Reaper, but I just want to see if this needs additional processing first. I think it sounds fine, so I'm going to leave it alone and just remember that this is an asset I might consider using. Colin, you're going to call it a night. Thanks for the prawn jazz. Yeah. Sorry for not actually doing it. I didn't go very hard with that, but maybe on next week's stream we can make it happen. And John, guilty as charged. Oh, John, I thought you were like a teacher or something. Do you? Not asshole prog rock keyboardist, dungeon synth label owner, moonlighter, middle school teacher or elementary school teacher or something, and GitHub copy paster, GitHub assistant monkey. Okay, let's hear what some of these sound effects sound like in the context of this. I like to make little mock-ups. Where are those sound effects? Oh, you know what? This is it. So this is going to be like a sort of a fireball type of a spell from one of the characters in the game. This is not going to work. Where am I? And basically what's going to happen is that thing would hit one of these creatures. So I guess what happens is this sort of ends up, this is my space right here. This is really messy and disorganized. So let me try to make this a little bit more functional. All that stuff is going to be the same color. And let's just see what happens if this thing hits a creature. Needs to be more of a splat, right? I think it needs a splat. John says I will be a para. I was a para. Will be certified next month. Interviewed for a 3rd grade position today. Stealing lesson plans. Oh, guilty as charged for stealing lesson plans. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't? It's like, I mean, aside from like not having enough time to plan all of your own, it's like, who's going to how big of an ego do you need to have to be like, oh, I can teach this better than everyone else that's ever been, and I will not be inspired by anyone else's lesson plans, so I will not look at other lesson plans or copy pieces of them. It's like, someone else is a better teacher than you, and like, use other people's lesson plans to learn from them and modify them to fit your own skill set and teaching style. But yeah, I think that almost everyone recognizes that and steals lesson plans. Okay, we need a splat. This hit sound isn't cutting it. Just imagine that's like throwing a fireball and then no. Maybe that's a sound for something else, an enemy getting hit. I don't know. Or an enemy hitting you. Whatever. We're going to look for a splat sound. How would you label a splat sound in a sound design library that's too big for me to actually look through? It's like terabytes of sound design. Splat.
Splat. Splat. Twang. Twang. Ugh. Ugh. Varum. Wham.
I don't know what we're going to do with this, but we have.
Twang. Ugh. Ugh. Varum. Wham. Whiz. Whap. Zap.
Zap.
Zonk.
We're not using those. We're making our own. Make some vocal effects if you're in the chat and you have my email address. Email them to me. Just record something on your phone. We're going to use it. Splat. I'll record those later with a better microphone, with the correct input gain at least. That one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. I'm gonna get rid of the rest of these. Okay. Maybe these just need to be layered with these, and we'll be in good shape. What do you think? Let me hear this without the reverb. That's so good. When you delete the wrong thing. with, without. Oh, I'm so glad that that happened. This stream is the mechanical keyboard stream. It's probably the loudest thing. It's so close to my microphone. It's like when I'm trying to play my MIDI controller. It's just like right there. Or if I'm like exploring the motor faders. Okay, I think this is just going to be the same thing with each of these, and they're going to sound different as a result of the other things. You know what? F2, let's just go -2 on that one. +1. That should make them sound meaningfully different. Cool. Maybe we'll stretch them different amounts too. The -2, I think the +1 will be longer, and the -2 will be shorter. That's too long. Yeah, okay. Much more tolerable. Splatter. Okay, I gotta get off the stream in about 10 minutes here, so if anyone's got any questions or wants to say anything, or make suggestions, make comments, talk about lobsters, mail me my lobster costume for the live stream show, that apparently I don't believe you that's happening. I think the people that said that are not in chat anymore, but so be it. So let's see, what else do I need to create up a region for my render view? I think there was some stuff over here. The forest birds. Oh, I need to make this loopable. That's the last thing I'll do. So I essentially want the beginning and end of the loop to feel... If I want the forest to sound disconcerting, I could reverse the sound. That's cool, actually. If I slow it down and pitch it down. Here's what it was before. Here's what it is now. It's subtle, but it's a little bit more disconcerting, I think. Oh, it's pretty lo-fi sound. Yeah, it's got this weird dip here. We're gonna put that filter as a track effects or take effects. That way we can compare it more efficiently. That's cool. Okay. I'm relatively happy with that. Let's just... Okay. It's back. I forget that I can't talk when I'm doing those types of renders. Copy this over in case I want to change it, and crop to that tape. Awesome. Okay. So this piece here is now not loopable, but I'm going to make a chunk of it loopable. I'm just going to pick a spot that looks kind of quiet and pick another spot that's like sort of far, but not super far away. And let's actually just do this on the grid. It's going to be easier. Okay. And now this here is going to be, let's go past that by 4. Pass that by 4 again. Okay. And now this piece here to this piece here should be a really clean loop. Let's make sure it sounds cool. Okay, sounds good enough to me. I'm gonna mark these spaces, glue those, slice it, and now this piece here should be a clean loop. Yeah, there's no clicker or pop. If you do that in the wrong spot, this is what it sounds like. Well, it should be perfect. That sounds fine. Overthinking it. I'll do that with the original sound before it's messed up. So it's kind of abrupt, kind of weird. Anyway, that piece there can have its own thingamajig. Forest creepy loop, and that'll be on my region render matrix. And we'll make sure that's getting rendered too. You know what? It'd be better if this was forest loop. Some programming situations hate spaces, so that's the purpose of that naming convention. Just to make sure that I don't know enough about the situation I'm putting this into and implementing this asset into to know if the name should have spaces. So as a general rule, they shouldn't. Now we've got that forest loop. We've got those other sound effects. We've got this one here. And that one's, oops, it's the wrong one. It's going to be void spell. And this one's going to be void loop. This one, the intent is to have this be a looping item. Maybe when there's that spell's active or something, it'll just continually make this noise. Mage 26. Hey. Oh, Mage 26. I know who you are. Hi. Good to see you. Even if it's just a screen name in a chat. I am working on some audio assets for a little video game for a game jam. Basically, this is some like magic spells that the character has. It's going to be like a sort of a thingamajig that happens, and this is a ongoing effect. Got some hit noises that are kind of interesting. I'm not sure if they're going to work, but we'll see. Exploring some space, the sound of some spaces. This is like really way too much actually right now, so seeing what it'll feel like placed in a room. And we've got something else. What else do we do? This forest loop ambiance, sort of a creepy forest. Kind of fun. But after this, I'm gonna be actually dipping out from the stream tonight. I was gonna go till 9:30. I have to go implement these in Unreal, and I'm not very good at Unreal Engine, so it's gonna be really frustrating. I almost think it would be more entertaining to do that on the stream, actually, now that I think about it. But it would be a lot of me looking up like tutorials, like how to complete this task that I know how to do in other software. It's a lot of typing and like something and realizing that it's not what you think it's called. But anyway, it's 9:30, so I will see you all later. I didn't use any of these synths very much. Well, I did at the beginning. So anyway, cool. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, I do streams on Tuesday nights, same time each week, 8 p.m. PST. Drop by and see what's going on. Usually working on music. Today it's sound design because I've got a deadline. And I am double dipping. Didn't want to cancel the stream, so I figured I'd do this. Cool. See you next week or on my YouTube video on Saturday.